In this video, I'm going to show you a report that has resource allocation from both Planner and Planner Premium. I did a blog post about this as well, which has detailed instructions on how to create it yourself. And there's a way to get the template file that I use in this video and in the blog article. So without further ado, let's get back to the laptop. So this is the report that we're going to build. I've called it the assignments detail across plans, because it's going to show you both plans from Planner as well as Planner Premium, which used to be called Project for the Web. Planner has limited amount of data when it comes to resources, but Planner Premium has quite some values that we can use, such as the hours, the effort that has been done, what is complete, what is not complete, how much has been done, how much hasn't been done. Planner and Planner Premium reside in two different locations. Planner stores its task data in Office groups, Microsoft Office groups, Microsoft 365 groups. It changes names sometimes. So it has group data. So that is a different way of approaching information than does Planner Premium, which stores its data in Dataverse. Now, we're more familiar with Dataverse when it comes to videos that I've previously done, but the Planner data, how to extract that? Because you need to have groups and you need to be a member of the group and you need to store that information somewhere. And how is Power BI going to grab that? Well, it's actually quite easy. You just need to watch 20-ish minutes from another YouTuber, and I'll put a link in the show notes for Christine's wonderful work on reporting in Planner data. She does a wonderful job in, well, it's probably more than 20 minutes because just this video is already 20 minutes, but she does a wonderful job in grabbing all the information from a single plan, which she's doing in here, as well as creating a flow that will even create all plans together. So this is the flow that I created based on her script, and it creates a couple of variables, array variables, and it grabs lists of groups that I am a part of, own or belong to. And once you grab that information, you can go for each group, list the plans of that group, and for each plan, collect information. And that is what the large portion of this flow does. It collects information, it appends that to the arrays, append to array, append to array. And what it also does, it compiles all that information in one single data set. That's the data variable. And the last part, what you do is you grab that information and you store that in a JSON file. Now, that JSON file can be read by Power BI. And in Power BI, we can build lovely visuals such as this one. So that is the part of Planner. And I'm going to show you what tables it contains and all that in just a moment. But grabbing the information from Planner Premium is done through a template that Microsoft shared 4 years ago. Now, Project for the Web, they created a model-driven Power App for that. That's called Project for the Web Accelerator. They're probably going to change that in the near future somewhere. And they're overdue with a update for this one, I believe. So 4 years ago, they created this Project Accelerator, which has project data. And apart from the things that we need to pull out of the data report, it actually works quite nice for when it comes to our resourcing needs. It has this resourcing dashboard, it has assignments, it has allocations, it has a table called My Work, and you can just select a resource and find out what that resource is doing in the near future or has been doing. So that information is all quite well, and we don't need to change anything for that. So let's take a closer look at the Planner data set, because I have this model here and I have a Planner model. And what we need to grab from the planner data, and again, Christine does a wonderful job in presenting this in more detail, but basically what we have is we have our tasks. Everything is revolving around tasks. And you have your flags, your information about your project tasks, information about your planner tasks. And then you have your subtasks, which are the check marks. And then you have your assignees, so your assignments, who's doing what inside a task. Well, in Planner, you're limited to that information. You can add a resource to a task, and you can have a task start date and a due date. And that's about it. You cannot tell how much work that resource is doing, how much has been completed, apart from not doing now, and complete, right? When it comes to the project for the web or Planner Premium, you have a couple of more tables. Yeah, you have your team, you have your project tasks, you have a bucket, you have projects, you have the bookable resource, which is the term that we're using in Project Premium, as well as the assignments with more information here. So here we have effort, which is work, effort complete, effort remaining, percentage complete, progress, more information is available. And then we have a project team as well. We're not using these two, by the way, but they come with the package. Looking at the data itself, if we go to data and to tasks, what I've done is I created a couple of measures, like number of plans, number of groups. I have this lovely little measure that tells me if something is complete with a unique chart. Again, Christine, wonderful job you did there for both complete and incomplete subtasks. And we have the assignees, so who is the assignee, and if we have that name. So it can also be multiple people working on a single task, and that's why we're concatenating that. So when it comes to the project for the web or the Planner Premium template, we actually need to do a couple of things before we can start working with that solution. So one of the things that we need to do is I need to remove this, and I need to collect the information from our environment. So here I have an environment with 7 projects, and you need to grab this data here. So the first part up until the .com, you need to grab that, and in the template, you're going to paste that, and you're going to click on load, and we're going to wait a couple of minutes before that loading has been completed. Now, the reason why we need to clean up the project for the web data, there used to be this table structure related to roadmaps, and the roadmaps currently don't exist anymore. So after waiting a substantial amount of time, we get this huge report with a lot of information. Request dashboard, which is their ideas dashboard. We have program health, project health, program financials, portfolio health, portfolio dashboard, portfolio finances. I'm cleaning up a couple of these because I don't need that, right? But first, let's pick up the pace to where we actually need to go. We're going to go to transform data. And in here, you can already see the age of this report, because what we're seeing here is still the name project for the web, and the data source is common data service, which is the old name for the Dataverse, right? So we're not going to bother with that in here. I'm just going to remove, delete group, the roadmap group, because we don't need that, because it doesn't work. Then there's staging information as well, and we have our reporting parameters. Now, because I'm also going to use that JSON, I also have that JSON URL in the parameters in my template file as well. So close and apply. And now, once that has been loaded successfully, what we can see is that if I hover over, where's that roadmap? Well, can't find it. Maybe I deleted it earlier on. What I'm going to delete here is resource dashboard because we're not going to need to use that. We have the health for the programs. We're not going to use that. Finances, we're not going to use that. Then we have the portfolio health, which is kind of interesting. Dashboard as well. Finances, once again, we're not going to use that. And then the portfolio timeline is interesting. Milestones, love those. Risks is not something I'm going to use here. Issues, for risks we have a whole different playlist, of course. And then there's status report, we're not going to use that. And then we have our resource dashboard, the thing that we know and love. Resource assignments, allocations, task overview, project timeline. Well, we can do better, right? We have a playlist for that as well. And then we have my work here, and I have a timeline, personal timeline. I'm not going to use that either. So for the portfolio or for the project for the web, project planner premium information, we're actually done, right? This loads the information from premium projects, and we can dive deep and see all of our resources and work with all tasks that are inside the system and analyze that. So how are we going to add Planner Premium to this? Well, again, we're going to navigate to transform your data. Pause right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause right here because the planner tables are already present in my other report. If I navigate to the transform data, we can see how that was built. So here we have a more modern view of the report, right? We have our reporting parameters with our Dataverse, with our JSON file location, and Planner Premium, as well as Planner. Now, again, Planner has 4 tables, and Planner Premium has a couple more where it has staging information as well as the actual information that's going to be accessible from the report. I'm kind of going all over the place. I'm aware of that. And please also take a look at the blog article where I describe it in a bit more step-by-step approach. The way we navigate to our planner tasks is we have our source file, which is a location, this JSON file location, and it contains a list of records. If we convert that to a table and we expand that column, we actually get all the information that we need. We have our plan, we have our group ID, we have our group name, we have plan IDs, plan names, task IDs, task names, everything is in here. And after changing a couple of more values here, what we have is a nice clean overview of our project tasks, or our planner tasks. And I keep mixing those up, sorry about that. So that is how we create this planner connection. You need to have that JSON grabbing flow. You need to have that JSON planning. You need to have that JSON grabbing flow that we have here. I've set it on a timer for once a day, grabbing all the information. And it typically takes, well, you saw I have roughly 18 groups with 20 plus plans in there, and it takes half an hour to complete. Doing this every day, of course, saves you a lot of time if you would do that manually. And then we grab the information from the project accelerator report, and voila, you have a lovely lovely report. Now, how can you grab this template that I've created already for you? That is available if you are a subscriber to my newsletter. The file is available there, and it is a template file, which basically means that if you change the parameters, which are the data verse, URL, and the JSON location, you would be all good, and you would have your data and everything that I've done in the blog article and that I've showed you here would be available to you. Now, that's a free download for just a single subscription. Let me know what you think. This is also a celebration video, sort of. Our oldest daughter turned 11 today. Congratulations, girl. And I am an MVP for one more year, at least.